So I was listening to a podcast the other day that said, well, the person who was speaking in the podcast said, know yourself. What is the vision you have for your life for the next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? What is your definition of success? There was such a barrage of questions that I had to pause and think about each one, and I started feeling really anxious. Because I didn't know the answers to this stuff. I mean, I couldn't plan my life like this. The more I thought about it, the more anxious I felt. Now, I don't know whether this was because of, being stressed in general at that point or what. I can't remember what my mindset was at that point. But I just thought to myself, I've done exercises like this in the past, goal setting exercises. And they've been exciting to think about in that moment, but somehow never actually come to fruition. And all these plans that I've made, it's either that I didn't know how to implement them, or they were just asking me to attract this stuff with my mind. I'm not sure. But I tell you this, I was like stressed, and this mind ninja stuff just doesn't work for me. So in that moment, I just took a few deep breaths and thought, buddy, you don't have to listen to every piece of advice people and even experts in their field are giving you. It's okay to move away and ignore the stuff that you don't agree with. I gave myself permission and that itself was a massive sigh of relief. I felt the anxiety starting to loosen its grip on my chest. Next, I turned my gaze onto the one who truly has the answers to everything the future holds, my Father in heaven. And I just spoke to him. I said, God, however much I plan and plan, only you truly knows what my journey will be like in the next 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years. Looking back at these last 10 years of my life is an example in itself because it's been full of unexpected plot twists. There is no way I could have imagined or planned any of it. So it's all good to make these plans and keep struggling, going around and round in circles, which I am honestly so tired of. But right now, I think I'd rather just leave all that to you, Lord, and trust that you will direct me like a mentor and a guide. And with that prayer of surrender, I felt this huge sense of peace settling in my heart. I gave God the driver's seat. Now, to explain this driver's seat, I've got this really cool analogy. When I was a little girl, my parents took us for holidays twice a year so I lived in Goa, as some of you listening will know that. And we used to go to different places like Bombay, Mahabaleshwar. Like we went for these trips twice a year during the holidays. And growing up in India, you see a lot of accidents on the road. You see a lot of bikes and cars and like crashes, and then you see, blood and you see bodies. It's just really traumatic in a way. I don't know. I just got used to seeing all of this stuff, and I was really afraid of accidents. And initially, so my dad always did the driving, and he always came back from like a night shift or something, and then he would just drive through the night so that we could make the most of it, and we would reach the place to our destination in the morning, and so we could spend the most time there. And I used to stay up to watch the road because I was afraid, to be honest. But you know what? I learned to trust my father. I learned to relax. Because my dad, to be honest, he's an amazing driver. He always drove so cautiously. His reflexes were so good. He would drive fast, but he was very alert, and he drove really well. And so whenever I knew that my dad was driving, I learned to trust him, and I was just relaxed. And I had full trust in his capabilities. They were dangerous roads, and we've had a lot of near misses from, these random truck drivers who came on the wrong side of the road and stuff like that. But my dad's reflexes were great, and I knew that we would be safe because my dad was driving and he had the wheel. And so that analogy has stuck in my mind in that faith is like giving up the driver's seat and the micromanagement and trusting God with the wheel. It's like me sitting behind, like with a partial view, sometimes looking at the road, sometimes just enjoying the ride, and enjoying that adventure and the drive, and enjoying getting to the destination while God is taking the wheel. He's driving me there, and that's what faith is. So I'm just going to leave you with that thought, and I hope that you are able to trust God. Give a little bit of that, like they say, let go and let God, and give a little bit of your driver's seat to God, even if it's for a short trip. See how it goes. Test it a little bit, Start trusting God more. And I wish you all the best. Have a great week. God bless you. Bye.